The establishment of the Althing is described in the writings of Ari the Wise. The report is shrouded in myth, to be sure, and put down in writing about a century after the events happened. Legend has it that an agent is sent by Iceland's first legal expert to explore the whole country in search of the most suitable plot of land available to use as the assembly site. Thingvellir certainly had some obvious advantages as a meeting point of people from all around the island. It was well connected with most districts in the south, west and north. It had plenty of water and grassland, and the high rock walls created a strong sense of community. William Morris visited Thingvellir in 1871 and described it as the greatest marvel and most storied place of Iceland. The name Thingvellir may sound familiar to anyone who has visited the Isle of Man, where the local parliament is called Tynwald. The two names have a common etymological origin. The same applies to the town of Dingwall in Scotland and the municipality of Thingvoll in Norway. Place names that include the word thing in one form or another give a strong indication that the location it refers to has a background as assembly site. With 39 chieftains and their followers gathered in one place, not to speak of women and children, merchants, tanners, food sellers, beer brewers, and all the other people who had a reason to attend the Althing, someone obviously had to take control. The person responsible for the conduct of the assembly was the law speaker. His main role was to proclaim the laws of the Commonwealth aloud over a 3-year period, which means that every year he would recite 1/3 of all the valid law of the country. In an oral society with no effective writing system until the 12th century, the law speaker's two main requirements were doubtlessly a good memory and a powerful voice. The law speaker's office is not unique to the Icelandic Commonwealth, but since Iceland had no supreme ruler, the law speaker became even more important than elsewhere as a leading figure. When choosing a natural site for an assembly, a few things must have been considered essential. First of all, you need a raised area of land, a slope or a hill like the one where I'm standing. Second, you need a plain below it where the audience can stand. Taken together, this is the ideal setting for the law speaker to stand and recite the law, pronounce sentences, issue summons, and make whatever announcements the public needs to hear. The third required element is a convenient location for the law court, preferably a circular field surrounded by a hedge of some sort. As you can see, Thingvellir has the slope, it has the plain for the audience, but the exact position of the law court remains an enigma to this day. Lögrétta, the law court, was the center of legislation at the Althing. It consisted of the 39 chieftains, but since the North Quarter had 12 instead of 9 representatives, 3 supplementary seats were added for each of the other 3 quarters. This gives us 48 chieftains, and each one would bring 2 councillors with him. All in all, the law court included 144 men, plus the law speaker and later 2 bishops, so the number reaches 147 in the 12th century. The seating arrangement was circular, with 3 benches in a row, where the chieftains would sit in the mid-row and their councillors in the back and front rows. These were the representatives responsible for the election of the law speaker. They enacted and accepted law proposals according to which judgments could be passed. This then was the most powerful institution of the Althing. The Althing was the venue for solving those legal disputes that could not for some reason be solved within each of the quarters. When a dispute could neither be settled in private nor through arbitration, the last ditch was challenging an opponent to a duel. This was a legitimate procedure until the year 1005. The 2 opponents would settle their accounts by a sword fight within marked borders, and if one of them stepped outside the borders, he would lose. At Thingvellir, we find Öxarárhólmi, an islet in the river that runs through the place. According to some of the sagas, it was used as a field of battle for those who solved their matters by duel, a convenient location with the water providing clear borders on each side. The first lawsuit in Njál's saga is terminated when the defendant challenges his opponent to a duel. The latter is an old man who has little chance of success in an armed encounter with his much younger enemy, so he withdraws the case.